It's 2003 in Houston, Texas, and a 35-year-old surgical resident is just trying to get to work. He steps into the elevator at Christus Joseph Hospital like he's done 100 times before, probably thinking about his first patient of the day. He's calm, focused, professional. But then, in one nightmarish moment, the kind you wouldn't believe if it weren't real, the elevator doors slam shut on him. Not on his bag, not on his coat, his neck. Now just pause. Imagine that. 1 second you're walking into work, and the next your freaking neck is wedged between two slabs of unforgiving steel. You don't even have time to scream. Before anyone can react, before anyone can even understand what the hell just happened, the elevator starts moving. And yeah, you guessed it. It goes up. Dr. Nakaido's body is still outside the elevator, but his head and shoulders are trapped inside, caught in the closing doors. So when that multi-ton box starts rising, it drags his body with it, or tries to. It doesn't work. He's decapitated instantly. His head and upper torso are inside the elevator. The rest of him? Left behind, crumpling to the ground in a pool of blood. Nurses nearby begin screaming. One of them, a hospital employee, is actually inside the elevator when it happens. She gets trapped in there with his remains for 20 minutes. Frozen, in shock, inches away from a scene straight out of Final Destination. She's later treated in the ER for trauma. And honestly, that's probably putting it mildly. Now, here's the part that stings because it didn't have to happen. The elevator hadn't been maintained properly. Days earlier, maintenance crews had been working on it. There were known issues, busted wiring, a faulty circuit, things that should have raised red flags. But no one acted. The safety mechanisms might as well have been built out of chewing gum and hope. The hospital shuts down the entire elevator bank after the incident. Elevators kill roughly 30 people a year in the US and injure over 17,000. But numbers don't tell you what it's like to see a man torn in half by a machine we all step into without a second thought. We're just getting started with these absolutely insane elevator disasters. So hit the subscribe button. Next up is China. In 2016, a 43-year-old woman steps into an apartment elevator in Xi'an, China. She's just heading home, probably thinking about dinner, her grandchildren, whatever was on her mind. Then it malfunctions. The doors freeze shut. The lights flicker. The power dies. She's trapped, alone, inside a dead metal box. A few hours later, a maintenance team shows up. Someone reported elevator issues. They do the unthinkable. They cut the power completely, assuming the elevator's empty. They don't check the cabin. They don't check the surveillance camera. They don't knock. They don't call out. They just walk away. She's still inside, and nobody knows. No food, no water, no cell signal. Just steel walls closing in. Just silence. The kind that makes you go insane. She's left there for over a month. When they finally open the doors again, what they find isn't a corpse. It's a nightmare. She tried everything. There are scratch marks on the inside walls. She tried tearing open the control panel, tried prying the door open with her bare hands. You can see the trail of her fight fingernails broken, blood dried in streaks, her last desperate messages smeared on the walls. She starved to death. She dehydrated. But most horrifying of all, she died slowly, in the dark, trapped in a box no bigger than a closet, knowing that no one was coming. She was declared dead by the time they reopened the elevator a month later, but no one knows how long she actually survived. A few days, a week, 10 days of begging for help that never came? And here's the thing, this didn't have to happen. If someone had just knocked, if someone had just glanced at the footage, if someone had just done their job, she would still be alive. Instead, she became one of the most horrific elevator deaths ever recorded, not because of some freak mechanical failure, but because people stopped caring. The next one is from a cruise ship. In 2015, you're on a cruise. The sun's out, tropical breeze in your hair, you've got a drink in hand, music playing in the background, maybe a steel drum band doing their thing. It's paradise. You're walking down a hallway, heading toward the elevator like 100 other people on this floating resort. Then you see it, blood seeping from the elevator doors, dripping slowly like molasses made of red. Thick, dark, Too real. At first, it doesn't register. Some passengers even think it's part of the entertainment, a Halloween prank maybe, or some edgy dinner theater bit. But then the smell hits. Then come the screams. What they didn't know what they were looking at was the aftermath of a horrifying accident. A crew member, a maintenance technician, had been working on that very elevator, inside the shaft. Routine checks, nothing dangerous until everything went wrong. Someone either triggered the elevator, or maybe the system glitched. Either way, it moved while he was still inside. He was